All right. Don't know how long I'll be on here, but I wanted to jump on and grab my screen real quick here in just a minute. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch. All right. Cool. Welcome to the stream. So, real quick, just kind of as like a little side note here, something that I'm working on in kind of spare time outside of everything is a tutorial series on making characters from absolute zero, just starting from a sphere, building it out based on a concept, and then creating clean topology and production model, making it production ready. So far, this is where we're at with this particular character. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this a time or two. And yeah, it's based off of a concept by my friend Micah Schneider. And yeah, super fun so far. Everything's still kind of in the blocked in phase. You notice that, like, if I look at the arms are not connected to the body. The fingers are not the same resolution as the hands. It's not all connected or anything like that. It's all just blocked in, and it'll remain that way until I go ahead and retopologize, which will be kind of the next step. That'll be the next series of videos that I record. So yeah, it should be fun. Should be good. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out on my Instagram for when I announce that, and should be pretty cool. If you follow my ZBrush Live series, you'll remember this is the character that I have been working on for that, and she's been a lot of fun to work on. Calling her Johara. She is the Star of Lebanon. That's what I called her, right? Jewel of Lebanon. Yeah, it's hard to me to hear about the things going on overseas, specifically in the Middle East region. Let me go ahead and kind of tie up this curtain a little bit, get a little bit more light on here. But we've got problems over currently in like Armenia, the way that Turkey is kind of attacking on them and everything like that, and just the way that things have been kind of tough for them. Get a little bit of light. So yeah, the way things have been going over there, but also with the way that Lebanon had that massive explosion recently. Wanted to go through and create something of a hero for Lebanon. Quentin! How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Dude, should I like jump onto the Discord and like do voice chat? Do you want to do voice chat? If you don't want to, that's totally fine. I get it. I get it. Yeah, let's do it. I will headphone myself. You can go ahead. You can get on there when you're there. And let me see. So for those of you who are, Quentin's one of my buddies over on Twitch right now. You see, I got all sorts of Discord stuff going on. I need to make sure I go to the right channel. There's the Pixelogic one. Here is SMAARTIST. Let me see. Which one's this one? Is this the right one? Yeah, there we go. The No Spare Time live. Okay. Cool. Hey, dude. You hear me?
Can Oh, there we go.
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Just kind of figured I just wanted a break from the other things I was working on, so I figured I'd take a break from ZBrush to get on ZBrush.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I just got off work about a couple of hours ago.
Oh boy,
Yeah, home now. Just trying to wind down.
nice. Yeah, winding down's not a bad deal, especially if you're winding down with me, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You
Oh
might
yeah.
you might get me to join you on some ZBrush.
We need to do like a team stream sometime.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely.
Were you around when I did that one with Mikkel?
No, I didn't sit in on that one. I didn't get to. I think I was at work.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Work? What?
What is that? Yeah, but I still got it like in my queue to go check it out later. I want to see
To go
what
check
you
out the
guys are
stream.
doing.
I,
Yeah.
in all honesty, I don't know. I don't know that he has his part up anymore. Which it's fine. I guess that's his choice.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was fun. I really enjoy those group streams and whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah, man. I think we all need to try to start linking up together again. All us artists. I feel like this virus has separated us.
yeah, yeah. It's been definitely super super hard, especially from the standpoint that well, like we were talking about the other day. How the ZBrush Summit is not an option for us this year,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, those are some of the best times, man. Definitely.
absolutely, absolutely.
I remember being in Florida. I would say probably around 2014, 15. Like just watching them online, the streams and stuff.
Yeah.
Just wishing I was there. I was like, oh my god.
And then you move out to LA and it's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. It's a
Hey,
lot
Jan's
smaller
here.
than I thought. No.
It's small. It is. It is small. It's kind of interesting because it's like you get certain impressions or whatever, and then it's like you're there on
Yeah.
scene, and then it's like, it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting from that respect.
That's cool though. I like the way they have it set up.
Well, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice. It looks like Jan just chimed in over on Twitch.
Hmm.
How you doing, Jan? Ooh, it's like super stretched out right there. I want to add in an extra loop in there.
It's kind of weird. The Discord keeps like going in and out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like it'll cut off some of your words.
Oh, that's so rude.
Why are you so rude, Discord?
Why you gotta be so rude? Sorry, I won't turn this into karaoke night.
What was that?
You ever heard that song from oh my goodness, Magic, called Rude? Why you
Magic.
gotta be so rude?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, come on, dude, you're not American if you haven't heard this song. It was on the radio for too
Oh
long.
my goodness. Everybody was singing that. They were so hypnotized by that song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jan says doing well. Hope y'all are too. Speaking like you're from Texas or something. I think you
Yeah,
are
we're fine
actually.
down here. We're doing great.
Well, it's funny because like I'm from Texas, but you know, it's like it's one of those things that's like I don't know that I really ever say y'all or my dad
Yeah.
does.
Uh,
My dad does, but he didn't really ever say it until after they moved back down to Dallas.
okay.
So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I always wondered if it really was like that in Texas in certain parts.
In certain parts, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like it seems to be kind of hit and miss.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. It's really funny. There we go. That looks better, and it gives me a little bit more control of what's happening right here in this corner. So I'd say that's a win-win-win-win-win. It's a lot of winning.
A quadruple win? No.
Is that how many wins I said? I
One,
missed
two,
it.
three, four, five. She's
Win.
coming out great, man. I like her. I like the face with everything, like the helmet and all that.
Yeah, the helmet's pretty cool, and it's.
Yeah.
I think that the face. I think I still need to kind of go through and rework it some.
Hmm.
But I mean, I kind of like how different she is from other
Hmm.
things that I usually do. Um, yeah, I don't know. So it's really kind of tricky. And with that helmet, I mean, I got to go through and build in kind of like the interior parts,
Hmm.
because otherwise it's just like super uncomfortable looking.
Yeah.
Whatevs. Figure it out. Let me see, where did that go? There's the visor piece right there. Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun piece to work on so far.
Or you know what you could do? You could like cut off like the top of her head and make the helmet
I
like some
thought
kind
about
of
that. I thought about doing
ship
something.
or
That's a good
something.
idea. Yeah, I thought about doing something like that to be able to create like, yeah, just like that interior like foam shell or whatever. And
Yeah.
then I could go ahead and kind of build it up. But then it's like I'd rather. I think what I'd rather do is like duplicate the shell of the helmet.
Hmm.
Yeah, kind of something like, let's see, let's go like this. Control Shift D. Let's
Okay.
helmet interior. If I can spell it right. Interior. And then yeah, I just kind of like keep this piece,
Hmm.
geometry, delete hidden, and then let me see. Yeah, I should have like dynamic on, I think. Oh, it's a pretty heavy piece. Reconstruct. Okay, that would be the basic. Let's keep it about there. We'll say delete higher, and then we'll say extrude all polygons. Let me see. This becomes kind of tricky because it's like on the one hand,
Hmm.
um, well, it's like if I start pushing this in, eventually, oh shoot, eventually I start to get that crossover.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So maybe it's just a matter of going through and kind of like putting it in, selecting it, and then using like superpowers to pull it in. And you know, I'd want to go through and kind of eliminate the the foam down here along this chin piece, I think. Maybe think of something more specific for that. Yeah, let's turn her and her clothing off so we can see. Actually, I need her on. Sorry, that's a little inappropriate. Turn that visor off. Oh, so I was watching. Watching is kind of a loose term. I was listening to. What's that movie? Shazam. Today.
Like the latest one.
Yeah, the one that DC put out like
Oh,
last year or
okay.
something like that.
I always think about Shaq's one.
Oh, the genie one.
I always have to make sure if it's that one or the
Yeah,
new
I
one
don't.
now.
I think I've seen that one maybe once or twice. I don't remember it very well. Because I mean that's
Yeah,
from
it's not.
forever
It wasn't
ago.
the greatest.
Well, I
It
mean it was
wasn't the
Shaq.
greatest. Movie. Oh man,
Poor
I bet
Shaq.
watching that now would be so laughable.
Yeah, probably. Let's see,
Oh
King
man,
Edge single
uh,
coil. Go ahead.
I saw the documentary they have on Netflix for Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, how's that?
It's called The Last Dance. So good. It was so good.
Yeah, Michael Jordan is like he was my basketball idol when I was a kid. Like I loved like he and the whole Chicago Bulls team. Like he, Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman, Scottie Pippen.
Hmm.
Uh, my mind's blanking on the other guys. There were like two other guys that were like absolute central players on that team, and I'm totally blanking now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love those guys. I love those guys. It's like I mean I grew up in Utah, and so I mean, we got the Utah Jazz there,
Hmm.
but I mean they were never that good.
Yeah. I mean, like me personally, I never really got too deep into sports. I just didn't really have anybody to kind of teach me that whole side of it or whatever. Um, so I
Sure.
knew about it, I understood the game and everything. I just never kept up with any teams or anything. So I would know like when the game's coming on there,
That's fair.
whatever.
That's fair. So were you
Yeah.
like Miami Heat all the way just because that's a local team, or did you have a team?
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly how it was. And I even though I wasn't big in sports, like watching this documentary was so entertaining to me. Like I was like, man, I wish I was a sports fan. Like, because I couldn't imagine like how hype everybody was back then, like when those guys were playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
might
yeah,
have to go and watch that because that's one that's been on my list for a while.
yeah, definitely check it out. It's pretty long though. It's like 10 episodes, I think, and they're
Oh
like
yeah.
almost like an hour each. But it,
Wow.
it just sucks you in though. Like it's so
Wow.
good.
Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, it's always kind of fun when they go through and do things like that, and it's just like super long, but it's like you're so into it that it's just like wait, it's ended. What?
That's it.
What is
There's
wrong
gotta
with you
be
guys?
more. Yeah, and now like Netflix has that timer now where it just like goes to the next one automatically.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Like should I watch? Yeah, let's just watch another and just make sure
Fine,
decision.
you convinced me. Yeah. Yep, I know how that goes.
Oh man.
How is work going?
Work's okay. I, I can't complain. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have work or whatever, and still like we still have some issues at my job, but I try to look over it and just kind of go with the flow for now.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like they're not like murdering us over it or anything.
Well, that's good.
It's not like it's like a life or death situation or whatever, but
I'd be a little worried, dude. I would probably encourage you to leave if they were murdering you, you know? It's like, well,
I
I guess
heard
if that was
I heard
happening,
someone screaming in the back.
I don't want to go to HR. I don't want to go. It's like you'd be like kind of in the. It's like does that qualify for workers' comp? Probably not.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, work's cool. That's cool. I'm noticing though, like, um, they're like kind of being a little more light on certain rules that they had before with the whole COVID thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like before, like when it was really bad and it first started out, they were limiting the amount of people in the stores and, just really enforcing that stuff. Um, but it's died down so much now. Like, I notice certain days will have so many people in the store. I'm like, whoa, like, how are you supposed to do the 6 feet distance thing,
Right.
if you have all these people in there? Yeah,
Let me
makes me
see.
think.
I'm trying to check and see if I can get my audio to behave better.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know, Sean. I'm trying to make sure that I can use my. I mean, because I've got a real microphone, but it, it just it seems like it doesn't always want to play nicely. So I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Maybe I just need to kind of like control your volume a little bit so that it only gets up so high. Go ahead and say something so I can see kind of like what your levels are getting up to.
Um, check,
Okay.
check.
Okay.
One, two.
That'll be a little bit better. Hopefully. let me know. Let me know if it doesn't work quite as expected or as
Yeah.
hoped or as needed or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
All right. Let me know too. I'll try to do some adjusting.
I think you should probably be all right. Um, I think it's just kind of a matter of me having my desktop audio and microphone audio kind of set so that the sound is not going through uh, at different, like Sean was saying, at different levels.
Gotcha.
It's trippy.
Technology.
It works sometimes. Yeah, it's always kind of tricky. But how you doing, Sean? Just since you're around.
Sean.
Sean the Man Hopper. Dude, did you watch speaking of Hopper, have you seen Stranger Things?
Oh yeah, I love Stranger Things.
I'm so excited for the next season to come out whenever it comes out.
I know, right? uh, uh, I feel like they usually drop on like Halloween, like around that time, right?
Well, they dropped the last one on 4th of July. Like on the 4th,
Oh
like
yeah, that's right.
because then they had like inside of the story it had to do with
Yeah,
Independence Day and special
I
festivities in
remember
town and
that.
whatnot.
Yeah, I'm excited though. Whenever they drop, it feels like it's gonna take forever.
Yeah.
But I get it with the whole COVID thing. That probably didn't
Yeah,
help at all.
but everybody else is doing just fine. Just kidding. I need to like go through and just pull the piece like way up. Oh shoot. Let's pull it way up and then I'll just add subdivisions or something. Try to get it to like the extreme or something. I don't know. Like I'm trying to decide like technically. Okay. I got an idea. So here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of going through and like being lame and going through and extruding out for all these different pieces, I'm just gonna go Control Shift D here, and I'm just gonna use this sneaking piece right here. It's like why not? Good God, I can work smarter. Let me see. We're just gonna go ahead and invert that. Geometry, delete hidden. Boom. Okay.
Bing bang boom.
That's what I remember hearing that one time from that one person. Yeah.
Should have like a catchphrase.
Well, sounds like you got one already. A bing bang boom.
Bing bang boom.
There we go. Now that's there, and that lines up perfectly. So I just have to worry about making sure that this is the right material, the right color. Lost interest your the second season, did you? Oh boy.
Uh, no.
Oh, color. Sorry,
You
color
gotta
fell out.
watch it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I recognize it could probably be like a matter of personal taste or whatever, um, but yeah,
No,
it's fun. It's
Sean, you're wrong.
you're wrong.
This show is perfect.
It's one of those things. I think that season two definitely didn't have quite the same strength to me as the first season did because I feel like with the first season it was all fresh.
Hmm.
The character, I mean the actors were like just jumping into these roles, and so they were able to keep that persona straight the whole time, instead of like changing persona partway through or whatever. But I mean, like they come back with the second season, and then it's like they have to worry about like, oh, how is my character again? And then they have to do like, you know, I don't know, all sorts of like acting studies and all that garbage and whatnot. But no, do I have double of this? Shoot! No way! Oh no! Oh my gosh! That's stupid. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Dang it! Okay. Delete. Always okay. Delete. 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 Okay. Where did that other green piece go? Caramba. Okay. I think I've got an easy fix for this. Control Shift D. Because this is how we do. Yeah, there we go.
Duplicate.
Cake. I actually just finished my last slice of birthday cake. Well, and it's funny. So Jan's saying that the first season will always feel better than the second because of the newness of the show and etc. I agree with that certainly to a point because of the newness and people were able to just go into it fresh and things like that. But I also feel like there's That cupcake lasted forever. No, it wasn't the cupcake. The cupcake was gone in like 14 seconds. It was awesome. Um, the cake, it was like a King's Hawaiian cake. I don't think I have any. I don't think I have pictures. I was like, what am I trying to do? Like, I'm reaching for my phone. I was like, what am I doing? No, it looks like I might not have. Oh no, yeah, I do have a picture. In fact, I even have a video of me like blowing out the candles with my mask on. Oh, come on, go back, go back. Blowing out my
Oh, I see
candles.
it.
Yeah,
There's a delay. I seen it.
this is kind of funny. Just trying to play around or whatever. Such a good cake though. It's the what is it called? It's oh my goodness, I forgot what they call it. They have a special name for it, but it's just got like it's got three flavors. It's got guava.
The was it Neapolitan or?
No. It's a different a
Uh,
different thing because it's got like guava. It's got and actually I can't remember what the other two flavors are. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because doggone it, I need answers. King's Hawaiian cake. That's it right there.
ooh.
Paradise cake. That's what they call it.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, and it's got three different flavors. So it's got like the whatever flavor it is. Guava, passion fruit, and lime.
Mm.
Paradise cake. Gotta remember that. But yeah, it's down in Torrance. It's super good. It's kind of like our go-to cake place if we're doing cakes for birthdays.
Oh, nice.
Let me see.
That's cool.
Clothing trim. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that that's named right. Okay, so we got the chest wings. It's a weird name for it, but whatever. I do want to put in more of these like, ooh, I kind of like that with like the copper tone sort of look.
Yeah.
Got to figure out kind of what else to put in there. I might put in like some sort of like buttons or antennas or lights or something in there. I don't know. Got to try to figure that out.
Should give her some copper brass knuckles.
Ooh, some copper brass knuckles. Yeah, so anybody who's in and around LA for birthdays, remember King's Hawaiian. Tell them Steven sent you. They won't know what that means, but
Gonna get you sponsored, man.
I'll have a jersey with King's Hawaiian on it, and then it say on the back like I bring the cake. Cake. Alright, let me see. All right, I'm going to do this same thing. Okay, so the reason why I had that problems, the problems with the everything getting deleted or duplicated, and I had to go through and delete and kind of sort through things, is because I had my folder closed when I hit Control Shift D to be able to duplicate, and that's a problem because then it goes through and
Oh,
duplicates the
okay.
whole folder instead of just the object, and
I
so
see.
whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, Okay, great. It only brought out the pieces that I think I need, which is awesome because I don't think maybe I do want it to go up and over. Let's do it. I think it'll look nicer. Let's complete the look. Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to decide though whether I like the metal piece coming underneath here or not. I think I'll keep it at least for now.
Yeah.
But I definitely do like having it kind of going along the top. I think it kind of closes it off nicely and makes it feel a little bit more complete. Maybe I'll put a rim like that around the helmet too. Just to test it, you know? Just testing it. Make sure that's open so I don't totally kill myself with the with the thing. Duplicating the whole folder instead. Ooh, who's jumping on? Did we get
Did
somebody
you
else
hear that
jumping on?
too?
Yeah, usually that happens when we get like a message inside of Discord. So I wonder if maybe it was. It doesn't look like we have anybody else in there right now. Uh, it might have just been like a notification from one of the other Discord channels or something.
Oh, okay.
Too many Discords.
Yeah, a lot. A lot of discords.
Let me see. Do you have any like cool projects you're working on lately?
I've been putting off starting this one that I want to do for Mel Milton. Like he has a concept that I've been looking at for a while, and I'm just like,
Nice.
I want to do this so bad.
Mel's a
But
total stud. I love his
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
In fact, I actually bought one of his originals. I have it hanging out in the hallway.
Oh yeah, yeah. I bought one too.
So cool.
But yeah, there's one when he did of a female portrait. It's a African American chick with dreads.
Cool.
Yeah, I never really did dreads before, so I wanted to kind of like have that challenge, see if I could pull it off.
That's fair. That's fair. Dreads can be tricky, but I think that if you figure out like just the right trick, I think it'll work out really nicely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide. Currently, I'm kind of debating, but maybe I just need to kind of color it so that it's. Currently, I think that outline works really nicely for along here. I don't know that I want it along the bottom though. Kind of tricky. And I think a lot of the problem that I have with it is just kind of having it how it's terminating here with like this weird round.
Mm.
Turn off perspective, so I'm looking at it in an orthographic sort of way. gone out too far. Let's take it so that it's like in line with that. Yeah. Hey Kareem, how are you doing? Hey there, I was wondering if ZBrush has some kind of move slide brush that constrains to the surface, similar to how the slide edge mode in ZModeler works, but in a brush form to freely slide topology around. That's a good question. I mean, ZModeler has the slide points, like, and it has the slide edge, like you were talking about. Um, I don't know, the way that I try to do it is just by like kind of pushing and pulling things based on a linear, like using the transpose line to be able to push things out. Um, I I mean there is a slide brush, but I don't know how well it works for actually doing that kind of thing. Um, it's a good question. Let me see if I can play with it here in a second. Pull that around so that it fits. In fact, let's try this because I know that there's, yeah. So here's like that slide brush. Yeah, I mean it feels like it's kind of sliding on the surface. I don't know if there. It seems like that there's a way to be able to use um, like what's that called? The snake hook brush. That's definitely not keeping a clean surface though. Um, there's supposed to be a way to be able to use the snake hook brush to make things kind of align. Um, or like not align, but like to kind of snap to a surface sort of thing. Um, and that's kind of interesting, but it's not like a clean like I'm going to get beautiful, wonderful forms out of this. It's kind of tricky. Um, yeah, like that's why I usually stay in really low topology for such a long time. Usually, with this character, I went through and did mostly Dynamesh, so it's really kind of a kind of a messy little lady.
Gotta clean her up.
Yeah, someday. Yeah. So there is a slide points inside of ZModeler, and that one's super helpful. I use that one a lot, especially for things like this. Usually, I would use that to go ahead and just slide it along, so that way it keeps the points kind of in a more linear sort of relationship. But yeah, that's kind of what we got for right now on that. Um,
Yeah, pretty good teacher, Steven.
Thanks, Quentin. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's like my main job right now. Pull that down. Yeah, I enjoy teaching. I find it to be a helpful way. Yeah, careful not to extrude polygons while using it for sure. One of the things that I thought
I
about. Oh, go ahead, Quinn.
no, I was gonna say I had a small opportunity before I left Miami to teach like middle school to early high school kids. Maya and just the basics or whatever. And it was like a little summer camp thing. And I I never realized how hard teaching was until I had to do that.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, the kids were kind of young, so their attention span is like all over the place. But yeah, that was interesting. I'll never forget that time.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I do presentations. And one of the things I do kind of on the side is presentations for schools in Utah,
Hmm.
and yeah, I do that through the Utah Film Center, um, and it's really cool because it's a great way for me to be able to um, essentially help kids become um, informed viewers,
Hmm.
so that they're not just watching the movies and being like, oh, that was great, I'm entertained. It's like they're going through and they're like, oh, so you mean there's actually somebody that makes this stuff?
Yeah.
You know what? I might have to actually break this symmetry just a little bit, and then I'll recreate the symmetry here in a second. Let's get rid of this. I just want that out of the way. Um, One of the things I'll do sometimes is I'll use that slice curve just to be able to add in an extra. Oh, I don't like how that added it in. Add in an extra edge loop. Just gotta check and make sure that it's all the same everywhere else. Didn't really modify anything. Um, Q mesh. Get rid of that piece right there. That'll be a little bit better. Did you see the birthday card that the electronic birthday card that my dad sent me? The one that I posted to my Instagram stories.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, that was funny.
It's like every once in a while I'll get the song stuck in my head. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
But sometimes on purpose, yeah. Steven, it's your birthday. You see, do you have any yeah. Do you have any good tips about doing hard surface in ZBrush? Tried to do a character in it, then I ended up switching to Blender because I feel is less frustrating. I disagree. Blender is more. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I mean, so let me see tips about doing hard surface stuff. I actually do have like a full tutorial series. If you're interested, um, it's a pretty good one if I say so myself. Oh, I want to look at that later. That's super cool. Let me see profile. Yeah, hard surface techniques in ZBrush. So this is pretty cool, and it goes through like my entire process of being able to say from a sphere, being able to conceptualize a robotic creature, and then my process of being able to use different techniques to be able to create the different panels, to be able to create the different forms, the different separations, things like that, and it's really fun. It's really great series. I might have the other like the time lapse up on YouTube. Um, but yeah, if you're interested in like the instructions and things like that, that's up on the that is up on my station. I think it's up here somewhere. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the time lapse. So it's super sped up. Um, for the time lapse, but it's, you know, it's helpful. Okay, mute that. So yeah, lots of different techniques for being able to create the different pieces. And you know, granted, I mean, this is way sped up, and it's, you know, it's meant to be kind of more inspirational than instructional because, you know, it's a time lapse. But then, you know, if you want to get the like the real course, it's up here on my art station. So yeah, just kind of fun. Lots of little, you know, using Z modeler, using Dynamesh and different you know, sculpting techniques. You know, here I'm using like insert mesh brushes and using Z modeler to be able to model different pieces out. Um, and yeah, it turns out pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Bye
And if
now.
you subscribe now, you can you will get not just one, but all the videos for the low price of $99.99.99. I don't remember how much it was actually. I'm sorry. Let's change to my mask glassing. It was funny. It was like when I was streaming with Mikkel, he was like, I can't remember what it was that he was talking about. I was like, oh, is that at the end of a? Or maybe it's actually with you. When it was you, and then Prashan, and yeah, it might have just been the three of us. But you know, we were all chatting and whatnot, and it's like, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more content
Oh
like
yeah.
that or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that was with us. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that is creased and should not be. Okay, let's try this again. I think I might have to. Yeah, this looks like it's definitely going over that center line. I don't want it going over the center line quite yet, so we'll just kind of move it to the side a little bit. All right. I think I might have to. Yep, I have to mirror it first. Sometimes it's worth checking. Okay. Now it's just a matter of kind of getting this this mesh to kind of go inside of the. Oh, actually, it looks like I might have to go through and do it the other way around because otherwise the mesh is going to be going into the breast, and that's going to be less comfortable, I'm sure, than.
Not real, Steven. No, sorry.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be any different from a regular female fashion designer, you know? I mean, honestly, like, who takes women's clothing, like, comfort into account when designing female clothing? You know, that's just how it is. Let's do this. Oh, I got further on my tutorial piece with the with Micah Schneider's mermaid. Did you see that one the other day?
Okay. How's that looking? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here in just a second. I think I still have it open, but I'll have to check. Oh shoot. Symmetry. Okay, symmetry on. Let's do this thing. Good grief.
Symmetry.
ZBrush, where symmetry is king. Sometimes. Yeah, so one of the things that I keep getting requests for tutorials wise is like production topology and things like that. And so what I started doing was creating this character from absolute scratch, like from a sphere. And there we go. Let's kind of commit this. And so the idea, what I'm going through and doing, is I'm using a concept from a friend, and I'm just trying to recreate it in 3D, make it so that she's production ready, and then make a final posed maquette. So far, it's coming along pretty stinking nicely, and it looks like I do have it open, so I'll go ahead and save. So yeah, that's what she's looking like so far. So I've got everything blocked in. I've got the concepts right there. And yeah, I mean she's turning out pretty nice. I've got the proportions down. I mean my next stage of what I'll be doing, you know, to be able to work on her in this form is to get her hair and her crown worked out, and then I'll be moving on to creating topology. I'll be leaving like the character sculpt in like these different pieces,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's not absolutely crucial to have them all together. But then I've got like the shells are actually modeled, and I'll actually be keeping those, you know. So yeah, the earrings are modeled too. I mean, if you can believe it, like that is final topology. Beautiful. Oh yeah, and I guess the eyes too. But yeah, lots of stuff to still figure out. But mostly I just gone through and made sure that it's all blocked in and ready for retopology. It's pretty fun so far.
It looks nice so far.
Thanks, dude.
Excited.
It's one of those. I think what I'll probably start doing is as I create tutorials, I'll probably release the time lapses, or you know, like slower time lapses on on Patreon, for you guys to be able to watch, and then yeah, release like the longer narrated stuff, you know, um,
And like
through the
tutorial.
store. And then you know, for anybody who wants to be able to buy things like a la carte or whatever.
Okay.
And then and then I might release like a public uh sped up time lapse or whatever, or like a faster time lapse, just so, you know, to not completely ignore everybody else. Do you recommend going to art school? Oh, Vancouver Film School. Okay. Vancouver Film School is actually one of the first places that really caught my attention. Um, when I was going to school, I went to Brigham Young University for an animation, and it was great. It was super great. And so, I mean, currently, what I do professionally is I teach. I teach at Noman in Hollywood. Um, a few of the things that I recommend people do is that they weigh out a few things. I feel like it's important to weigh out your skill level. It's important to weigh out your um, I guess how easy it'll be for you to be able to handle the financial heaviness of it. um, and then the other thing is like, okay, so and then when you look at your skill, okay, so here's what we want to do is we want to look at your skill in two different ways. You want to look at your skill as, first, are you good enough to get into the school that you want to go to? Is your school, if your school is public and your skills aren't quite to where you want them yet, and you can go to that school to be able to really learn the foundational skills and boost your skills and learn, get yourself to a place where you can be professionally competent, then great. Make, check off that first box. Then you go through and look and think, okay, so financially, can I handle it? And then how am I going to handle it when you do that? The other thing that you want to do, because I mean, these are, and I'm not trying to like freak anybody out, but these are like super serious questions that I wish people had told me before I had done anything school related. Um, because you don't think about those things, especially when you're in high school. Um, but so then the other question is, looking at your skill level, going a different path. Um, how does if you're really really good, and you're wanting to go to school for the sake of getting the piece of paper with your name on it, um, that's great, because going to school will teach you different, um, disciplinary things, making sure that you stay focused, that you stay on task, that you get good at, organizing your things, keeping yourself in order, in communicating and collaborating and different things like that. So school is really really good for those sorts of things. I definitely recommend going to school. Um, Even if you are super stellar amazing at what you do, but if you are super stellar amazing, at what you do, it may or may not be worthwhile to go to school, from the standpoint that if you can get a good job, um, that could be, that could be the way to move forward. Like I've got plenty of friends in the industry who eh, maybe came from countries that didn't have any kind of education for animation or art or anything like that. Um, and they started working in the industry before there really was any kind of resources on the internet like we have today. Um, and so my biggest recommendation, irrespective of what you choose to do, is to take advantage of the free online resources that there are, different live streams, network, talk to people, do personal projects. If you have a way to be able to, if you have a way to be able to collaborate on a project with somebody, especially in a way that you'll be able to get feedback, I think that is amazing and that's great. And I totally recommend doing that. Keeping a sketchbook. Pardon me. Um, Keeping a sketchbook is super handy. But yeah, so those are the sorts of things that you ought to kind of be asking yourself is, um, what's my skill level like? Am I able to get into school, if the school that I want to get into? If I am able to get into school that I want to get into, can I handle it financially? Um, and then, in every way, all the time, always be trying to push yourself and get your skills better than they are. It doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, even somebody like I'm always heralding Rafael Grassetti, but I mean he's a total stud. I mean he's like he blows me out of the water. He's my age, you know. He's like, dude's amazing. Um, and in fact, I think he might not have any formal education. Do you know Quentin? Does he have?
Um,
I don't
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
he
he
does
has.
actually.
I don't
No,
think he
he
has a
just
college
has
degree. So I think what he
yeah,
did is he started when he was like 16, doing artwork for advertisements, if I remember correctly.
yeah, yeah,
And
that's
then
right.
yeah, he just got really good and started to get better jobs, and now he's 32 and 33 or whatever, and is totally killing it over at Santa Monica Studios in Santa Monica. um, so yeah, I mean it's definitely one of those things that you want to weigh out. If you're going to get a job, um, try to make it a job that even if it's like a low paying job, figure out while you're at school on campus, try to figure out like an on campus job you can go and do. That was one of my best pieces of advice my wife gave me, was to get a job on campus, and yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, I think those are probably my biggest things. Hopefully that's helpful. I didn't get enough feedback on my portfolio that I made, so I really don't know how good I am. Well, it's definitely good to ask. Do you want to get some pointers right now, or do you want to just or maybe you could message me and I'll try to get back to you. Here's kind of a point. I don't know. What do you think, Quentin? So I'm.
Patreon.
What did you say?
Said join the Patreon.
Join Patreon. Um, what do you think about this? I've got like I'm thinking I kind of almost like having the way that the mesh kind of just terminates. But what do you think? Do you think it'd be better to just leave it terminating like this, or do you think it'd be better to have the trim?
Um,
In search of followers, primes, and views? Come on.
I say try trimming it and see it to see,
Yeah, let's try it. I think it's worth trying it.
because it does look good like that too.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where maybe we leave it just like a fresh terminate here, and then we give it a trim here or something to see. Darn spam, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. Alrighty, Kareem, do you wanna send me a link, and we'll go check it out. We'll go walk through it, and I'll talk through some of the things that I would look at and say, let's try keeping this, or try doing more of that, or try to give you a little bit of expectations. What you want to do, at all times, is be trying to. I think I doubled that piece. I didn't want to double it. Is you want to be always trying to compare your stuff with professional work, in the sense of being able to see, okay, so am I up to snuff, or how do I need to improve. In fact, I went ahead and I did a whatchamadigget based off of that. Podcast. That's the word. Good grief. Yeah. I don't know if I lost Kareem or not. Maybe Kareem's off like trying to find portfolio link or something. We have to have like a portfolio day for Patreon. What do you think?
I like that idea.
Quentin likes the idea. Jan, you're there too.
Yeah.
I saw you there. You interested in like a portfolio day for Patreon? We could do a few things. We could probably talk about. Well, we could do like some feedback, um, kind of like what I do for my students or whatnot. Now I'll definitely need to work on some stuff for mine.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same. What date? Well, I would say probably towards the end of the year, maybe. That'd be
Yeah, we could
cool.
do something like the end of the year. I think that would be cool. I think because that way it'll give you a little bit more relaxing of a time to prep.
Yeah, I was thinking of taking some time off from work to go see my family because I haven't seen them in a while.
Time off from work. You mean people give you guys time off from work? Doing Sculptober this month too is cool. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if I had seen your latest thing up there yet or not, Jan. I'll have to go and check it out. Wake up and smell the roses. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Elise from I actually don't know where she's from, but she's on Instagram. Elise Digital Arts. Um, she has some great stuff. She's from Hasbro, I think, where she had been in the past or something like that. Super stellar work, but I'll have to put the link up for. There it is. Okay, so is the put them up pretty late since you work during the day. I'm usually on pretty late. Oh, I don't want to change that link because I want to make sure I can look at this later. Environment artist at Blizzard. Awesome. I'm gonna like it already. All right, cool. Um, Let me see. Let's go to YouTube and see if I can get the. ¿Dónde están mis videos? Let's see. Oh, hey, look, there's a handsome little dude right down there. No, just kidding. um, got it. Okay. Show. Cool. Okay. Kareem. Oh, that's so cool. You can have your own name on your art station. Okay. Oh, you must have done like Shane's course or something. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead. I'm going to yeah, let's save this so that we don't lose it. I'm pretty good at like not saving things. In fact, it was funny when I was recording my last the last video that I recorded
Hmm.
for the tutorial series for that mermaid that I was showing you
Yeah.
guys earlier. I had gone through like an hour and a half of work without saving.
Oh.
I didn't lose anything, but it's just kind of how it is. It's just funny. Okay, cool. Okay, so some of the things that like right just from thumbnails that I can see that I really really like that I think have both look really nice and have a lot of potential. You got this first one over here, the blonde lady over here. She's really cool. This cat hat gal, Neon, she's really cool. This guy with the yellow hair and the mustache, the glasses, he's pretty cool looking. And then this guy over here with I assume that's a sword kind of coming out his back there. Those look really, really nice. Just from a thumbnail perspective. Um, so let's kind of check them out. It looks like you've got some really good forms going in there, and that's nice. So I would say definitely having like, you know, highlighting those sorts of things. Um, the tights and her legs, and some of like the body anatomy, like those are kind of weird. Um, so here's kind of what I'm looking at right here. I'm seeing kind of like some of the lengths and proportions. Her elbow feels like it comes down super super far. Evening, Governor. How you doing, Mike? Dude, it's good to see you. Good golly, though, but isn't it like middle of the night for you? It's like 2 in the morning, isn't it? Maybe it's like somewhere between 2 and 4 in the morning. Good grief. 1 in the morning? Oh, okay. So, you know, whatever. Cool. An extreme night out. Yeah, I can relate. I can relate sometimes. I hate being up through the night, but sometimes I just get caught on, just doing stuff, and it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So yeah, the things that I'm seeing that I really like. I love the face. The hair is working pretty well. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's working pretty well. But the thing that I'm looking at here, and let's kind of come in and kind of expand this out a little bit. She feels really stretched in a fairly like unnatural, unappealing way. So what I would do is try to think about kind of like how like where those elbows need to come to. Like they wouldn't come down quite that far. They don't come down to the hips. They would only come down to like here. So in coming through, let's copy that image. Let's Photoshop this up.
Photoshop.
Photoshop.
What if it did that every time you open?
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. It might be annoying after a while,
Yeah.
especially if it's my voice. New from clipboard. Okay. Control paste. Okay. So first thing that I would do, let's see, let's do this. I'm going to select. This might like super slow down. I super apologize. I'm gonna pull this up quite a bit. Okay. And then I would kind of like, pull the, let's kind of pull the shadow out, stuff like that. So we're essentially just getting rid of some of the shape things that are happening down here at the elbow. You kind of want to fix that. It looks like you're losing some of the bone that's happening there with the elbow. So we'd want to do something like kind of like that with the hips. So it's kind of interesting. So it's like this character feels like she would probably be more idealized or um, she's definitely stylized, and so we got to keep that in mind. Um, Here, let's kind of pull this up a little bit. Change that pivot. So what's happening is that she's getting like really, really long torso. It's kind of, so we want to kind of pull this back some, and oh, what if my kids are going outside to play or something? I'm just hearing the garage open. um, yeah, so you want to think about like the length of the torso and how that's kind of connecting. It almost, oh, let me see, because this is worth playing around with. you want to think about kind of like where things are connecting. So currently you have like your chest kind of coming down and like creating this really far out sort of thing, kind of coming out that way. But it doesn't feel very natural. So I would probably take this. And kind of bring it back a little bit. Okay. Now a lot of these other things, um, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna kind of yellow all this out. It was all yellow. So you can see like just by kind of playing with this little bit here. Let's get rid of some of this, just to make sure that we're not losing our elbow in there. So by playing with this just a little bit here, we're able to get a little bit better proportions and a little bit more natural of anatomy relationships. So if we're looking at, yeah, let's go ahead and grab her legs. Her legs, I mean, you want to kind of think about kind of the way that the calves might go. It's right now they're kind of like they're really round, really low. So if you can find some good reference online, that would be super helpful. Um, you probably do. One of the places I love to go to is Pinterest, and it is awesome. Except that it's really changed lately, and so it's really kind of hard to keep track of where everything is now. Um, anatomy, anatomy. Okay, so all sorts of different cool references in here. If I forget what I have in here, it's so awesome. My goodness. Yeah. So let's see. I know that I have like some actual people reference in here too, instead of just like a bunch of cool sculpts and stuff.
Crochets.
I love that. I love the shape of the foot when it like I don't know. I understand high heels are super uncomfortable, but such a cool shape.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there's a good example right here. Let's look at this. Okay, so you can see like how the curve of the calf is kind of coming down and in. Let's open the image in a new tab, so we can kind of go back. Hopefully get another good image of the calves. Well, she's got some good calves. She's got like muscle on muscle. It's like, whoa. It's funny because like I forget what I have in here sometimes. Oh, I mean this one will be good to be able to see it. Let's kind of open this one up. Okay, so this is really great from the standpoint that it shows really how subtle the curve of her calf would be. And then this one's really good to show kind of more of the profile of like how high it is. So in here, we're seeing like you had the calf kind of coming like way down here. And instead of doing it quite that low, what we would do, let's do this actually. Let's say yeah, let's just do this. We're gonna say something like this. I don't need to do Control Shift J, just Control J. Okay, so we've got our new calf in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of let's just use the lasso. There we go. So now you're starting to get more of this sort of shape where you've got harness back up so we can see it. You can see kind of like where that's going to right there. And then the feet are turning out all right. I mean, there's some things that you'd want to do to kind of like streamline shapes. You'll want to think about like how the foot's fitting in there. One of the things that's really hard is that it's like she's like really super on the super tip top of her toe. Where like if you were to look at, what are those called? Platform heels, I think, pumps or something like that. There you go. So you get, oh, that's a good image right there. We'll check this one out because this one shows her foot too. So you can see kind of like the shape that this is making and how much support that gives underneath her foot. So you can see like if we were to put her foot like straight down, her leg is coming straight down to the ball of her foot right here, and that's kind of where all that support goes to. So we want to kind of think about that when we're trying to line up. It looks like you've got that a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell over on that right foot, but you can tell a little bit on that left foot. And we probably go through and try to like play with that form a little bit, bring it out so that it's filling in this shape just a little bit more, because it's losing some of that volume, and so it's feeling a lot less like a leg. It feels kind of noodly. Oh, so that's what that does. Control Shift J. It got rid of that little piece right there. Interesting. Control J. Merge down. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of the thing that I look at and I try to be aware of, is like how does that anatomy work in through there. Okay. Thinking about proportions and how the proportions fit together, be able to make it feel a little bit more natural, a little bit more. Yeah, it's always funny because like and I run into the same thing with my own projects where it's like I'll go through and I'll finish it and I'll post it and I'll be super proud of it because it's like because it's 1 a.m, like what Mike's at right now. And and then I'll go back and I'll look at it the next day and I was like, holy crap, what was I thinking? And I'll notice all sorts of things jumping out. So those are some things that kind of jump out to me on this one. Let me see. But yeah, really, I think it's got a lot of potential. I think it just needs some work to get that one to where it ought to be. Let me see. Let's open this one, and this one. I like how you're handling hair too. The hair on this one, it looks really, really nice. Okay. That right hand isn't too bad. There might be some things that you can do to kind of plus like the thumb. The thumb feels like it's really, really skinny. Well, I mean, the cat girl. I mean, I think she's got a ton of potential, and this is why I'm kind of looking at this one. Let's go ahead over here, Control Paste. So she has a ton of really cool potential because I feel like she has some clean forms. She has some interesting things going on. Choice of combination of different props and clothing and things like that. So I think that a lot of what this one would kind of come down to is giving like separate hair. Let's kind of give it like like actual like separate hair pieces so that it feels like it's so it feels like it's intentional. It feels furry. Down with this though, you gotta kind of look again, like just trying to look into to reference to how these sorts of things kind of mush together. Getting more of a definition with how the arm kind of butts into the. It lagged for a bit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's really kind of just a matter of going through and making sure that you define certain details. Like up here, the hair inside of the ears, making sure that that feels like it's intentional and controlled. The clothing, you could probably go through and clean this up quite a bit. Uh, that's too dark. Yeah, so cleaning up some of these forms to make sure that they feel um, yeah, to make sure that they feel like they're good and controlled. Let's kind of cut that away a little bit. Getting a good continuous curve is pretty important in design. Okay. Let me see. Oh, because it's already zoomed out. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of something that I would go through and do. The arms, like I would try looking at kind of the way. I mean, granted, I mean, you're 17 and you're doing a pretty stinking good job with a lot of this stuff, and so that's pretty amazing. I mean, I'm not at 17. I was not nearly this good. So that's fun. And it's good to see that you're able to get that start soon, or early. One of the things I would do, so we like to try to space out fingers, in a pretty natural sort of way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control J. This is just a great little tip for hands in general. Is to go through and kind of pull things together, so that you have like a little bit of a gap. Think about like how your fingers would be posed if they were on your hips. Let's kind of pull this in a little bit. Okay, so now you're getting kind of more of a naturalistic sort of pose with that hand. So bringing these three fingers together is something that you see a lot in cartoons, where it's like the three fingers are pulled together because it's easier to draw, and then the one finger is just kind of pulled out a little bit, and that just kind of helps to simplify the shapes, make it feel a little bit more appealing. So that's pretty cool. For the collarbone, what I would do, you see how it's like you have this offset right here. So what I would do is I would try to make sure that I have a continuation of that collarbone. Make sure that you are aware of where you're putting the different anatomy, the different bits of anatomy, and make sure that you kind of that you're that you control it. It's probably a nail, but just for the sake of clarifying kind of what's going on. And then kind of studying the transition between collarbone and shoulder. But yeah. I totally understand that. I totally understand that, having different characters that you did like long time ago. But just to point it out, that's something that I would go through and look at. This dude is really cool. Okay, I don't think I have any feedback for this guy. He's neat. The hair is super cool. Like the shapes are really neat. I like how he has these very simple folds in his clothing. Yeah, I mean, he looks like a character that could have come out straight from like Fortnite or something. I want to find this guy later. Super fun. That's really great. I love that hair. It's super super fun. Um, yeah, it's interesting to see kind of the differences between his and or yeah between his and yours. Um, they're the design of the folds are definitely a lot harsher. So you would want to go through and kind of create a harder plane change where you get those where you get those folds. But really, I mean, it looks stellar. It's super fun. Um, yeah. For this one has some good like proportion and shape things going on. I really like. And I think this one has a lot of cool potential to it. I like how the shoulders are dropped. It feels like it's got this really cool. And it looks like you have the artwork, the concept there too. So um, super fun. It's definitely not the same as the character in the concept. You would want to kind of push shapes quite a bit more, especially here in the clothing and the pants. Kind of go back up. Let's go to this one actually, because this one's easier to see the character silhouette. So there's some things like the folds in the pants. Uh, these feel rushed and they don't feel controlled. Um, and so what you'd want to do is you want to go through and kind of look and see, all right, so what shape are we getting in here? Why are we getting that shape? So the reason why we're getting this shape down here at the around his knee is because of something called compression folds, where the folds of the fabric kind of bunch up down there around the top of his calf. So we get that sort of thing. And we'll get like little tension folds like up here in his crotch, or little compression folds coming underneath his belt. Um, so yes, it's so I mean you're definitely heading in a good direction with this one, but the folds in the clothing don't feel very controlled. They don't feel very intentional. And so I would go through and try looking at that. Um, you know, if you were to go back and kind of rework these pieces, I think that would be a really great idea because these are really nice. You know, these pieces have some really great things going on to them. It's just that I think that the clothing kind of holds it back from being a stellar piece. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my thought on that one. This one, I love how that hair looks. That looks great. The only thing that I would look at differently or try to do differently is to try to make it feel like instead of having all the hair feel like it's coming from this front section, try to make it feel like the hair comes from all this area over here as well. Um, it's like you can see like these long chunks of hair kind of coming from the front of the head all the way to the back, which may very well happen, but I don't feel like there's any kind of hair coming from the side of her head. So for that one, that's the thing that I would look at for this. Otherwise, this is beautiful. This is great. Um, looks really really nice. And then for this one, similar feedback on the clothing, making the clothing feel intentional, making the folds feel like you're controlling them instead of putting something in kind of haphazardly. The hair looks great. The some of the structure right here, I would probably take the neck because I like the placement of the head. I think that that works well for the character. And so I think like taking the neck and kind of rotating the neck into the head a little bit better. So that here, I'll show you what I mean. Let's see, let's copy the image. Go ahead and put that in there. Let's go ahead and take that, Control J. And then I think kind of eliminating a little bit of that double chin effect. I think that'll help. Kind of narrowing out that neck just a little bit. Okay, so this one I feel like she's really pretty good and really pretty close. Um, Most of the time I spend doing cloth till now. I find it complicated. Yeah, for sure. And cloth can be really kind of tricky. And a lot of it is just going to be thinking about what is making the like how is the cloth reacting? Cloth is there's a simple principle that's going to be really powerful to remember of like this conservation of mass where you want to conserve volume. And so as the clothing comes together, you're going to get these compression folds. Um, as it's pulled away from, or like as it's stretched over something, you're going to get tension folds kind of coming off of it from the other side. You'll see the same thing like if you're wearing a pair of jeans or something, or whatever kind of trousers or something. You sit down, um, and you're going to get like a stretching over your knee. So you'll get a combination of tension folds going over your knee and compression folds underneath your knee where everything's bunching up. So those are really powerful and super important things to look out for. Otherwise, yeah, like you said, Mike, I love the hair. I think this is turning out nicely. This looks really good. And this is hitting kind of more that idea like what I was talking about with that other piece. Not that one. That other piece. The other one. Um, where it's like you feel like you get some of the hair kind of coming from here and on the side of the head. And that's important. So with hair, you always got to think about kind of like where it's coming from, where it's going to, and what's affecting it. So that's great. I think that's really nice. And so I think that by going through and kind of thinking about those things, I think you'll be able to really pull your portfolio into a nice arena. Um, that being said, things that I feel like you should probably take out. Um, I think that she can be pushed a little bit. Similar ideas with the clothing. Okay, making the clothing feel more natural, feel a little stronger. Okay, um, and then possibly working the face some to make this so that it feels a little bit more controlled. Um, yeah, I think that this one could be a really nice piece. But yeah, it'll just take a little bit of work on the cloth and a little bit of work on the face. Um, I would probably rework this one for sure. The blonde, uh, I don't even know what to call it. Oshino Shinobu, with a twist. Um, I would say keeping these first four is a good idea. Reworking Nyan, this little cat girl, and then reworking the cloth in Frankie and Yan. I think that would be great. And then if you were to like take out these other four, this Billy Bat thing, um, let me take a look at that one in a second. But these other two, like, they're not really. Well, that's pretty good. No, that one looks good. That one looks good. The foot needs a little bit of reworking. It's like the shape is kind of on the wrong side. Um, but yeah, it looks. Yeah, I mean this actually looks much better than I thought it was. Yeah, so with the foot, I would try like looking at the shape and kind of thinking about what the shape is supposed to be like on this side, and get a little bit more of a strength on this outside of the. Yeah, the rendering looks really nice too. What did you render it in? Oh, Blender probably. You use like cycles or something. Um, yeah, yeah, no, that looks good. That looks good. So I think this one works really pretty well. So I would say keeping this one is a good idea. It's a good one. Okay. And then let's take a look at Lala over here. She's kind of a fun idea, but I don't think that she's executed super well. I think that the hair definitely needs a lot of work, and then that there are just a lot of things kind of going on with like the hands. The pose feels a little stiff. He doesn't feel like she's motivated by anything. So I would say probably take this one out or change it so that she's stronger. Uh, Billy Bat. I'd say this one's a very like not a very strong sculpt. So this one doesn't really match your other projects very well, and it doesn't really show you as being someone that can handle a concept. So I would probably take it out. Um, and this night, the hands feel like they're kind of weird. Um, so you might rework those, and then the cloth is the same thing, where it's like going through making sure that it's intentional, making sure that it's controlled, and um, yeah, so that's intentional. Thinking about where the cloth might be compressed and is creating like different wrinkles and folds there, and then thinking about how those folds will kind of radiate out from those points of tension and points of compression. So yeah, I would probably take this one out until you can get like the cloth reworked, because it feels like this one has some kind of cool ideas to it. It's just a matter of getting the cloth to be to the same level as the armor, and the hands. The hands need to be kind of reworked too. So yeah, let me see. I would say let's do this because this could be kind of interesting. All right, let's say I would say take that out. Probably take that out, unless you were to rework the face and the cloth. Take this one out, but then um, I would say definitely keep this one. Um, this one needs to be kind of reworked. So I'm gonna put like an RW there, reworked. Um, Hair. This one's great. And then reworked and reworked for cloth. Yeah, and that's really kind of where I would see that. Um, oh, hopefully don't feel embarrassed. This is a very professional practice. I mean, this is kind of just the way that you. Um, oh, you just heard a chink. Oh, it's Prashant. Yeah, but yeah, so showing work and getting feedback, it's it's an important exercise, and it's definitely very important to be able to look for, to get, and to apply good feedback. So you know, yeah, you put yourself out there quite a bit just now. You putting your stuff out there for all 9 people to see on the internet. um, But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. It's exactly the way you should be looking at grades at school. Grades are not for us to look and say, "Oh, we suck." It's for us to go through and say, "Okay, so I need to learn how to be better in this way." Critiques and feedbacks are the exact same way. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that here I'll go through and I'll save this just in case you want it, and I can email it to you later or something. You can't hear me on the Discord. Ah, that's like stupid. That's dumb. Let's go ahead and do something like that. I'll fix that in a second. Wonder what made that mess up. Let's go back over here. Let's turn that off. Turn this off.
So,
How about? Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Oh,
hey,
hey,
How you doing, Prashant?
how's it going?
Pretty good. Oh, yeah, I've been kind of like showing off a couple of things that I've been working on the last few days. It's been fun. Um,
Yeah, this is really cool. I really like that.
you
Your
like that?
face, like, super stylized.
mhm.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's super different from anything else that I've ever really done. It's not like the most different thing, I guess, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you do with the nose.
Yeah, I kind of like the little pointy
Mm.
pixie nose. Yeah, she's fun. She's in a state now where I can go through and I can start developing the topology for the body and the head and everything. Um, and then I'll be going through and doing like the final hair and the final crown in my next recording. So yeah. Then I also need to go through and do all the like cool pearls and the drapery and everything like that. Like some of these things, like the pearls going around her shoulder, those will probably be like after I pose her.
Mhm.
But then I've got like the necklaces and the pearls that kind of connect the shell bra and things like that. Yeah, I can
Ooh,
get that on like
this is gonna look good.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm seeing things though that I've got to go through and fix, and I think I probably ought to fix it now before I forget. So bear with me for a moment.
Yeah, that's why we came here, to bear with it.
Hey Kareem, if you'd like that PSD or or any of the stuff that we talked about today, you can go ahead and you can send me your email on like Instagram or something like that, so that way I can send you a private message. That way you don't have to worry about putting your email out in front of everybody if you don't want to. There we go. I think that's working a little bit better. And of course, we'll probably notice something else later, as I'm recording it later, but whatever. That's just how it works, right? So Prashan, how you been doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, how's work?
Um, Works good. Kind of busy for testing phase, so I'm kind of
Nice.
you know kind of manual labor a little bit, but it's okay. Um, but yeah, I've been trying to spend some of my free time doing more work.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm into artwork.
Hard work is good.
Work on work, yeah. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's always a work in progress.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, no, I had the wrong brush selected. I hate it when I do that. Oh, I should have done that. It's like, look, I've got this other hole back here in the back that I was thinking about going through and adding that trim around as well. And it's like if I
Mm.
if I separate things out before, I won't be able to have the trim together. So maybe I'll just go ahead and say, take this, say delete. Oh boy, slide is partial. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Now, could you remind me, Prashant, what is it that oh shoot um what is it that you're, well, I guess you probably can't talk too much about what it is that you're testing, but
MRI machines. It is. Oh my gosh! What did I do? I had a screwdriver in my trousers, and I walked in the MRI room, and it pulled my trouser. Like it didn't like fly out or anything, but I was telling my friends that it was a happy screwdriver. Anyway, bad joke. Yeah. Try to keep it PG here. Um, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of modeling from references, but trying to do starting to do some original stuff
yeah,
lately.
that's pretty cool.
Mm.
Is there anything that you're trying to do, like inspired by something else, or is it?
Um, actually, I could just show you guys. I just finished one. I'm doing another caricature type project. I had a portfolio review with a modeler recently
Yeah,
from Disney actually.
nice.
Um, and and she's from Pixar. Um, she said that she still likes to see like original stuff, even though you're a modeler,
Right,
which is kind of, I've heard both ways. Like I've heard people say, you should only have models from references and match it as close as possible. But then she's saying, it's you have that, and then you also have some original stuff that shows kind of initiative and like, creativity and art direction kind of
right.
stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. I think that that's extremely valuable.
Hmm.
Ever told me
Um, where
Oh, you just send it over in
Just
Discord?
put my latest project on the Discord. But
Or in Personal
it's
Works?
like yeah, I think so. It's like a little fun project.
Is it under random? Oh, let me see. Oh, personal works. Let's-
Uh, and I made a sketch of that a long time ago, and I like recently remembered it, and I decided to make a new version of it, like model it.
I love those hands. That's so fun.
Yeah. Um,
I love that. That's great topology. It's got a great flow to it.
oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah, I saw this yesterday. I like it, man.
How did you make the
Wondering
cotton
what
candy? Is that
happens.
just like some sort of volumetric something or other? Or is
Yeah. I tried it with hair first and did not work out, and then I tried volumetric with like a kind of
cloud
a
something?
procedural spin. Yeah. You kind of got close enough, and I was like, yeah, it's good.
I think it works. I think it works just fine. It's
Yeah.
like so long as it looks right in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I was going for like a simpler project. I've been doing like portraits recently, and then like time to something simple.
That's hilarious. Concept of a cotton candy robot with two 7-axis robot arms. It'd be expensive and probably not profitable, but it would still be fun.
It
It's
would
funny.
be. It would actually be like a $500,000 robot.
Yeah.
Because those robot arms and servo control stuff is not cheap.
Yeah, I can believe that.
I always see these things going like rogue and just evil. Just going.
That would be part two.
Turn the
Just
kids into
blood
cotton
everywhere.
candy.
Oh gosh, something went horribly wrong.
Wait, that's not cotton candy. That's a hen.
I was gonna say my cotton candy's looking at me funny.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, don't I better not hear about you prototyping this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at Disneyland last year, right about this time. I think they had like a robot on wheels. I think somebody was watching it, but it was still AI control. Like it
Okay,
was like a droid in Galaxy's Edge.
nice.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah,
it's
they're getting
funny.
pretty cool stuff at Imagineering.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I miss it so
Yeah, you
much.
probably know more.
But it's like it's one of those things like they always have so many of those little those types of projects going on. I was
Hmm.
the building I worked in was the research and development building, and so
Hmm.
or I guess it wasn't really the building. It was just that we shared the same building, whatever. But so cool to
Yeah, yeah,
see some of the stuff that they're working on as I work my way over to the restroom or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, I was like blown away by the attention to detail. Some of the stuff, like the cafe or restaurant or whatever they had. Even the credit card machines had like custom UIs, like Star
Yeah,
Warsy.
yeah. I was
Like
super impressed. I was so super impressed. I wish that I could have. I don't know. I wish I could have spent more time just kind of like looking around at it and stuff. Because I mean, I spent hours looking at like the scale models at work and just like having fun geeking out at that or whatever. And okay, maybe not hours, maybe cumulatively. I don't know. It might have been,
Mhm.
but yeah. I don't know. It's just such a neat fun thing. They did such a great job pulling that together. Kind of decide if I like that or not. We'll have to see. Let's do it with in combination with this other piece. See if we can get a split hidden. Turn that back on. Display properties. I was like, what am I trying to do?
Are there any conventions coming up?
None that I'm aware of. I mean, I was hoping that Pixelogic would come out with like a virtual summit, like a lot of
Oh yeah.
like Lightbox did, and like a lot of other people are
Uh-huh.
doing. Sigraph, all those other people. But no, I mean they haven't said anything about that yet. Um, yeah, we were kind of talking about that earlier about how much of a bummer it is and whatnot, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big bummer.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep it with the trim on. I think the trim looks kind of good. I think it definitely adds like a level of completion to some of the elements.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go through and kind of add in like a. Oh, did we have somebody else chiming in too? Maybe not. I need to have it like. I need to like change it so that I only get notifications when I've actually got something coming in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for coming in, Kareem, and I hope you have a good night too. Talk to you later. Yeah, it was fun, kind of going through and getting like like a little critique or whatnot. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
I think this is pretty cool, being able to chat with others on YouTube and
I think it's a lot of fun. I really quite
yeah.
enjoy being able to do it. I mean, it's simple,
E-
but it's
Especially now that, a lot of people are home, they don't, meet any coworkers or anything. I don't a lot of the time.
yeah,
It's always nice to just chat with people.
yeah. I mean,
Well, I hate it.
Shut up, Quentin.
I want the real world to come back.
Oh, okay, okay. I see how it
I want to
goes.
see you in person, man.
Yo, toe.
It's like, oh, there's Zoom though. No, nah,
It's like
it's not
no,
the
no
same.
more Zoom. Too much Zoom.
I saw the South Park special they did for I think they call it the COVID special or something.
They're
Oh,
still
there
doing
was. I
stuff.
didn't see it.
That's
I
funny that they're
saw it.
still doing stuff.
Yeah, it's like an hour long, and they put it out I think a few days ago. But
I gotta see that.
it was so funny. There was a part where Cartman where they had to do school online, the Zoom calls, and he basically put up a picture of himself as if he was attending, and he was acting as if his computer was down, like the internet was like stuttering.
Oh my gosh.
I bet a lot of like kids are doing that.
Or just have like a loop, like a
Yeah.
loop of yourself, just like, yeah, yep, not, and then loop that.
And then the comes up at like inappropriate times of like my dog just died. Like like oh shoot, dude. Could you be more sensitive? No, I
It's
didn't
like,
catch that. What'd you say?
That reminds me of one I saw too that I guess a girl like staged her being kidnapped at her house.
Really?
oh
But it
my
was really her
gosh,
brothers. Her brothers like dressed up and grabbed her out of the room.
that's
And the
not
kid
even
was
funny. Oh my gosh,
like,
it's
wait, did people just see such and such get kidnapped? You just see like the classmates laughing.
She
oh my
was like,
gosh.
darn, foiled again.
It'd be funny when she gets kidnapped for real, and everybody was like, "Ha ha, jokes on us." She gets taken away.
Oh no, oh no. Yeah, I kind of like having that kind of copper looking element in there. That's working kind of nice for me.
It's nice. Should give her something on her gloves too.
Totes my goats. Hopefully increase all, increase that. It's like it was getting some weird creasing going on in there. Okay,
Hmm.
that's working. Yeah, she definitely will need something on her gloves. I wonder if I were to go through. Oh, it's pulling out the metal color. Okay. Let's go ahead and say, let's grab this color fill object, and then maybe for one of these, I can go ahead and fill it in with that, just to see what it's like. Oh, that must be from the piece that's kind of lining the top of the breast.
Hmm.
Pull it down and in over there. We don't need it to be visible right there. We'll have to resolve like this bit, but whatever.
She looks familiar, like a caricature of someone.
I was gonna say like an old girlfriend or something. Or
No, no, no. I think she looks like the girl from some movie on Netflix, not movie, TV show that's like Blade Runner. Um, looking it up. Altered Carbon. The the sister from Altered Carbon.
that's
Reminds
not
me
one
of
that
her.
I've actually seen. I know that I've seen it like on Netflix, but I haven't actually seen it.
Mhm. Yeah, Altered Carbon is pretty good. Um, yeah,
Are you
That
talking about
see the
her?
3 people? Yeah, I think the video is a bit delayed on my end, so I don't know what you're looking at, probably. Yeah,
She's got a neat face. I wonder where she's
maybe.
from.
The shape of her face, maybe.
That's funny because like also like I really like this dude. I think that he's just a fun actor. You know, he does a great
Yeah,
job. But
yep.
I didn't realize he was in this. Now I'm gonna have to go and watch it.
Yeah, it's the show is it's decent story, but the visuals are pretty interesting. Like they did a good job with so
Okay.
I've watched some of the episode a couple of times just for the VFX.
Oh, I think that's starting to come on. Yeah, this is definitely gonna take like a ton more work to really get it to go anywhere real, but yeah, I mean she's coming along. Oh, let's see, let's put that helmet visor back on. Cool. I think I probably have to head out. Whew. It's been fun though. Thanks for joining in, guys.
This is fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I gotta go take my vitamins now.
Do it. Do it.
Gotta keep that immunity up.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Alrighty, guys. Have
All
fun.
right,
Have a good
Steven.
All
night.
Thank you.
right. Yeah, you too.
All right, later, Prashant.
And to
Yep.
anyone else who's
Later,
out
Prince.
there